Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Eva Diva for Eva, and this is our series 52 Uncommon Dates, and this is date number 2. What are we doing today, Joe? Remind us.
We're doing the cemetery date.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this last time and I was like, what? It is a nice sunny morning. It's about like 9:30 in the morning, something like that. We are at our local cemetery. So Joe, what does the book say today?
Well, first it wants us to read this verse, Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. Alright, so setting the scene, it says, at first glance this may seem like a morbid, even unsettling idea for a date.
Indeed.
That's why it's important to set the right tone. Reading Hebrews 12:1 together to start your date would be an ideal tone setter. Visiting burial sites together can serve as a reminder of those who have run God's course and lived victorious Christian lives before us. So under Make It Happen, it says choose a place that has personal connection to you. It's close to our church. That's all we got.
That's basically it because we're not from here.
At number 2 says here, look for eye-catching grave markers. Which ones really stand out from the rest? What can you conclude about those people based on the way they're memorialized? Do you think they had any input in choosing their gravestones, or do you think their gravestones were chosen by relatives after their deaths? Talk about the kind of grave marker you would prefer. What would the design be? What would you want it to say and why? Number 3, let the dates on the gravestones tell you stories. And number 4, talk about your personal crowd of witnesses.
As far as I know, this is a public graveyard, so I hope we don't get in trouble for recording. I don't know how that works, how disrespectful that is or not. So Joe says already there's things that stick out to him. So what sticks out to you, Joe?
Well, I noticed the memorial way over there. Pond section here is pretty awesome.
So I wonder, are people like actually buried like right here?
Well, memorials, typically you don't have people buried in them. They're just in memory of those people.
Gotcha. I don't know, I guess maybe I'm just a little bit not uncomfortable. That's not really the right word, but it's like I've never just like casually walked around a graveyard before, have you?
Yeah.
You have?
A few times.
Am I not the normal one? I don't know.
I'm not the best starting point for normal.
That's true. Oh, if you like leave things behind.
A social butterfly. So we put butterflies on.
Aww. Whoa. What is this?
For people that get cremated,
Yeah?
they'll put their jars inside these.
See, that's what I would do. I feel like I know where I'm going when that day comes. So why spend all that money on a casket and all this stuff when, my life on here won't matter anymore? So that right there is something I would be interested in. Unless somehow you guys would want to keep my ashes, but I highly doubt that. I think that's weird.
I'd rather not see you sitting on my mantelpiece every day.
Is that the Bible?
Well, the book for sure. I can't tell from here.
That is insane.
When we were kids, me and Matt, when we would hang out, sometimes we'd head to a graveyard and pretend we were fighting zombies.
I remember one time Monica and I visited a graveyard for some family member. We used to pretend to look for ghosts. Oh my gosh, it's for Fireball Roberts.
The driver, right?
Yeah. Wow. This is huge. I mean, Joe, let's stand next to it just to show like how big this thing is. Like,
at least 20 feet.
That's insane. 1929 to 1964.
35.
Florida Sports Writer Award for the most outstanding athlete. Voted NASCAR's most popular driver. Daytona 500 1962, and then Daytona Firecracker 1959, 62, and 63. And that is his parents. They actually lived longer than he did.
About 20-something years.
Wow, that's so sad. Okay, let's keep going. So Joe's always said, what are these called, Joe?
It's called a crypt.
He says he's always wanted a crypt to be buried in. Here's the thing. They have all this money put into burying you in this gorgeous thing. But does anyone ever visit? When was the last time? Because you have to pay to keep this maintenance. That poor palm tree's dead.
Maybe he's been gone a long time.
And probably people stop investing.
Buried the wife and the husband together.
52, 61, and they have it open for other family members. Are those doorbells on them? Huh. No, please. Oh, the swan's over there, Joe.
Oh.
They're very territorial, though, so don't get close.
They're more scared of me.
No, they're not. Talking to somebody who's dealt with swans. So we're in this chapel, trying to cool down. It's really, really hot outside, but it's like this prayer chapel. You know, there's different people buried here. And, I don't know. I don't know if I like cemeteries. Maybe there's something else in our book that we could talk about. Before you end, talk about personal crowd witnesses. Think about Christians in your life who have died. How did their faithfulness to God influence you and encourage you in your faith by the testimony they left behind? Or does remembering them make you feel guilty when you make a mess of things?
I honestly don't think I have any Christian friends who have died.
I don't know. I don't really feel bad. I think that's more like on myself. But I do know when it comes to like funerals and stuff, remembering the good things about them and their faithfulness like to family and to God, I feel like, I don't know, remember that, man, it's a good thing. I don't know how else to say that. Before you end your cemetery day, spend a few minutes talking together about experiences of what you take away from it. Use the following questions. Was the day eerie or comforting? Definitely eerie. Eerie. Yeah, I didn't like it. And it's not that I'm uncomfortable with death. It's just not my scene. How about you?
I don't know. I don't ever come here to think about death. You know what I mean? I always like to think about life.
Did seeing gravestones make you want to prioritize anything differently in life?
I feel more strongly about prioritizing my life over my death than anything else.
Yeah, same. I mean, we've talked about this again. As you guys know, we are open with each other. I've told him, like, I don't want a gravestone. And he's like, oh, I want a crypt. I want a crypt. I'm like, but why? Like, I've always, like, I'm not mad at you, but I just hate that idea because it's like, to me, it's a dumb investment. But for some people, it's not. It's a way of healing. And I think concentrating on, life and family and God's mission and putting your money into that rather than a thing to memorize yourself that will ironically be forgotten. As we've seen in here, what gravestone affected you the most and why?
I'm not sure.
Well, on a positive side, I think the ones that people left very personal things like golf balls, or they put butterflies, because she was a social butterfly and whatever. I think those were beautiful, and you could tell like people came back for those people. And I mean, that's what you would want normally if you were at a gravesite. That's what you would want people to do. The crypts, I didn't like them at all. That left an impact, like a negative impact. Again, it's how people heal, but I didn't like them because like that one, the palm tree was dead. Like, who knows how long that person was buried for, and it's the family's responsibility. It's like their estate, so it's their responsibility to keep it up. And you can tell since that palm tree was dead that family has probably not come back in like years, and that's sad.
I don't know. I think the experience as a whole just makes me feel more, like this isn't really something I like thinking about. You know what I mean?
No one does. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. But I think, like, no one likes talk about losing anyone. Oh my gosh, I'm actually crying. Great clickbait. No one actually likes to think about losing anybody, but this is not our eternal life. Heaven is, and that's something to look forward to, and that's why I'm so happy that we have a Christ-loving life together, and that we want to move on and have, a Christ-loving family and a Christ-loving mission, and having that as a motivation for life, and not where we're gonna end up buried, I think is the most beautiful thing ever. When the Lord decides to take you or me, I think it will be awesome knowing that, we're gonna see each other again.
Whatever happens to our body isn't that important. It's more about what happens to our soul afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
Me too. I say we end this vlog on a good note. Let's go back to your place and let's cook lunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Food.
See
The best part of life.
That's right. We will see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, that's all that we have for today. We just had lunch, which is awesome, and now we're just hanging out. So, question for you, my friends.
What would you want written on your tombstone?
Leave your comments down below, and we would love to check that out. Alright, Joe, what are we doing next week?
Where's the book?
It's in the car, I think.
We'll find out next week. It's a mystery.
Come on, we have to continue that. Why don't you go and get the book now?
Fine.
So what are we doing next week, Joe?
Next week is the music day.
Oh, I like that one. I think that'd be a fun one. I love you some music.
But that may mean you have to listen to my kind of music.
Oh dear Lord.
Death and destruction.
That's not funny. So that's all the time that we have for today, guys. Until next time, we will see you when we're looking at you. Alright, bye guys.